Hey there, this is Clay with RelationshipInnerGame.com, and in this video we're going to talk about why a man may lose interest in you after having sex. Okay, now I know a lot of men have this reputation for, just wanting sex, right? And sure, guys do want sex, right? And I'm sure a lot of women want sex too. But why would a man lose interest in you after having sex? I mean, if the sex was good, why wouldn't he want to come back? If he liked connecting with you, why wouldn't he want to start a relationship? So let's go ahead and get into some of this. Okay, so obviously the first reason why a guy might lose interest in you after having sex is because he is a player, right? Because he's a pickup artist, because he's just out there to score as many points as he possibly can because it's like a freaking video game to him, right? Unfortunately, these guys do exist, and they often go out to bars and clubs and pick up women and have sex with them and then move on to the next one. It's just kind of the way it is, right? And you're going to have to kind of be aware of this, be on the lookout for it. It is going to be something that men out there, some of them, may be after, okay? But just kind of be aware that it's there, especially if you're on the lookout for a guy who does want a relationship, does want to settle down, does want to commit and all of that stuff. Just be aware that there are some men out there who are going to be like that. Now, aside from players and pickup artists, why might a guy lose interest after having sex, assuming he is not a player or a pickup artist? Okay, a couple things. First of all, there could be a lot of friction between both of your lifestyles, right? You may have had a great connection that night. You may have gotten together. You may have hooked up or something like that. But ultimately, maybe just something wasn't right there. Maybe, he lived in California and you live in Texas or something like that, and it would have been a long distance thing, and maybe he just doesn't want to put up with long distance relationships, so he just wanted to cut it off before it got too serious, and unfortunately you having sex with him was before the cutoff point. Could be something like that, or any other form of friction, right? Maybe the two of you just had very different lifestyles, and for some reason he thought that was like a big deal breaker or something like that, right? So that's one thing that happens. But what happens most commonly, and fortunately is under your control, is that a lot of times this happens when women don't focus on building an emotional connection with a guy first before they sleep with him, okay? So a lot of times women believe that sex is like this thing that you use as a reward, or like it's some sort of backdoor thing to getting commitment from a guy, right? Like, oh, well, if we have sex, then clearly that'll be like the thing that makes him want to commit to me or something like that, right? And maybe that works that way for you, but for a lot of guys it doesn't necessarily work that way, because as women start to believe that sex is this thing that they have to use to get the guy to want to be in a relationship, they start to do things. They start to do things like playing hard to get, like playing mind games, like turning it from something that is about actually getting to know the other person, getting to know the guy, getting to bond and connect and talk about your feelings and emotions and shared visions and goals and all of these things, and sharing experiences and romantic dates and kissing each other and all of that stuff. It turns from all of that connection, it turns into this game of playing hard to get, right? And what you have to know about masculine energy, which I'm going to go ahead and assume that the guys that you're interested in are going to have masculine energy. We can get into whole male-female energy stuff later, but I'm going to assume that the guys that you're interested in and are having you come here to watch this sort of video are guys with masculine energy. And so if you turn it into a game of playing hard to get, masculine energy is going to want to win the game. It's going to want to come out on top in the competition. Masculine energy is about achievement, it's about competition, it's about that kind of stuff. And if you turn it into a game of hard to get, he's going to try to get it. He's going to try very hard to get it, okay? And when you do that, you shift, you divert the focus from actually connecting with you and having a bond and a connection and an emotional experience and all that to playing hard to get, to the thrill of the chase and all that stuff. And when he catches you, when he finally gets it, right? When he finally gets you, he's going to feel as if you won the game, and then he's going to go slink off because there's no emotional connection, because you prioritized playing hard to get over bonding and connecting. And you were hoping that having the sex would be the back door to commitment and the relationship and all that stuff, but it wasn't, because you never focused on prioritizing the connection, on prioritizing bonding, on prioritizing getting to know one another, and you just made it all about sex. And so he made it all about sex. And as soon as he got the sex, he was like, okay, that's it, I win. I got what I came here for. And so he's going to go off and find some other woman, maybe a woman who is willing to talk about feelings and emotions and connection and all that stuff, unless he's a player. Just something to think about. Always, always, always focus on the emotional connection if you are interested in having a relationship with a man and getting commitment out of him, because sex is not the back door to commitment. Sex is something that is going to come naturally from an emotional connection, and that is ultimately what I imagine you want, is the emotional connection. So just go for that. Don't try to play like weird mind games or hard to get or, you know, sex takeaway games or anything like that. Just have the emotional connection. It's going to help you so much more. Okay, so this has been Clay with Relationship Inner Game. If you want to get more advice on how to meet, date, attract, and get commitment from the kind of men that you want to have a relationship with, please go ahead and visit our website, relationshipinnergame.com, and sign up for our email newsletter. If you like this video and you want to get more videos, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and give us a like on YouTube. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. This has been Clay, and take care.